What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Dent Digest Live Show. What's up, Manny?
What it's up, Ryan? What's up to everyone out there that's going to join us, or it's
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. It's Thursday, just pushing away, baby.
I missed you last week. It didn't feel like home on this show. You know, I had Bruce. I don't know if you saw the episode, man.
I did.
That dude.
It was a great show. It's
funny.
Yeah. It's crazy to see. It sounded like he was really into like the Stanliner tools, and he's all into. And it was crazy to see how like techs that have been around for some time are picking up some of the Stanliner tools and are really like seeing the difference and like just evolving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of techs that I feel that like don't evolve or don't like change with the time. I mean, tools, whatever. You have to. And it was cool to see that a technician like himself, he knows a bunch of tools, and he's still out there, just.
Have you seen his tool collection?
No,
bro.
Is it wild? Yeah.
You have to send him a message and let him take a picture of his van because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was funny.
Like he could probably make it on a episode of like PDR Hoarders because he has some tools. Let me tell you that.
Really?
So we got to get into two things of business before we have any more fun.
Shout out to Q.
Hey, everybody here is thinking about Ukraine. Some crazy stuff going on. So thoughts and prayers to all those people over there going through this crazy time in the world, man.
Yeah. Ryan, thank you. Thank you for showing respects to that, because the truth is that there's a lot of great technicians that also come out of Ukraine, Russia and all that area there. And,
I was talking to Olga today, back and forth from Glexo, and it's just crazy, man. It's, I don't know. It's scary times, even though we're here, it's still, it's a scary thing going on. This affects the whole world. This isn't just it's not as bad as what they're going through every single day. And I was sitting when I got home from work today with my wife, and I was like, I couldn't imagine, you sending your wife and kid away and not knowing if you ever see them again.
Yeah.
So, thoughts to those guys.
Yeah, man.
It's just, I don't know. It's a terrible time. We're going from one thing to the next. We're going from crazy COVID to this stuff. It's that.
Yeah.
Second thing, and I don't know if you've seen it because you're not a big Facebooker.
No.
They put a petition in for Google eliminated mobile technicians for auto dent removal. So
say that again.
So John Vidine was having some issues with his Google, and a lot of guys seemed like they were having some issues. So what they did was to have auto dent removal on your Google My Business, you have to have a physical address. If you're a mobile tech, it was removed from your services on your Google My Business.
Oh.
So what they've done is they put a petition together on change.org, and they're trying to get everybody to sign the petition. You can find it on the Dent Reaper page. I mean, it's on every Dent Facebook page you can find. So if you guys can go on there and sign away on that thing, just trying to get it to show back up for those techs that are mobile, But there is a workaround to that. And I was talking to John Vidine before the show, and a workaround for that is you need a physical address for Google. Okay. Yeah. I've been through the hell and high water right now with Google over the last 2 years, but I've learned a lot. And a workaround of that, if they don't change it, you need a physical address. You can't use a PO box. Okay. So if you have a UPS store, they have those physical UPS stores, you can spend $200 a year and buy a mailbox there.
Mm.
Well, that mailbox gives you a physical address.
Oh, I see.
On there. So you can use that physical address on your Google and you don't have a problem.
How about when clients decide to show up?
True. True. True.
Because I've heard,
and I have that. Too. That's the one reason I know is I have a UPS box, and the reason I do that is because we get some international packages, and it's easier for them because they can just sign for you.
Yeah.
So I've had customers find that address online because that's like my billing address for all my accounts, so all my checks go there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I'm in the UPS store and I don't see you here. And I'm like, how did you even get that address?
You know what's funny is that time to time I'll look at all my competitors, and the first few years I noticed is there was a few competitors here, and I'm like, these guys don't have a shop. I'm like, there's no way. I have never seen this shop. And I decided to cruise by a couple times, and sure enough, it was a UPS store.
That's why.
I mean, the post office.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's what that is. The other thing too is that on I guess for the shop guys, but like on Yelp doesn't register a paintless dent repair shop. Either you have to be a body shop or you're a mobile paintless dent repair shop.
Mm-hmm.
So time to time I have to have a conversation with clients. It's like, oh, it says that you're mobile. I'm like, and I tell them why. But Yelp also has that little bit of issue. But it's cool.
So if you guys have any type of issues with Google, and I don't know if you guys have watched this show over the last year, when I moved my location a year and a half ago, my Google vanished. It was gone for 7.5 months. Nobody knew why. Nobody could help me. Google's like, you're beat. I hired a guy from Jacksonville, Florida, which was a friend of Matt Boyette's. And he's been fantastic. Went in, did what he could. We worked through the whole process. He really spent a lot of his time and didn't charge me for it. So when we moved locations this time, because it's right across the street to the new shop, I was terrified. My wife's like, I think it's a bad idea. I'm like, we got to do it. Like, this is something we got to do. So I go to Adam, and Adam's like, look, I've got a plan. You tell me when. So I call him. I said, we're ready. He says, okay, here we go. And he's got access to my Facebook. He's got access to all of my stuff because he helps maintain some of my stuff on my website.
Nice.
Bro. And usually you get a postcard mailed to your address to update your address through Google. Nothing. Seamless. 15 minutes transfer. Not an issue in the world. And I'm like, how did you do that? He's like, I can't tell you that. That's why you pay me. So if you guys have any issues with Google, I can hook you up with this guy. Just send me a message. I'll send you his info. He's not real expensive. He spends a lot of time with you. And let me tell you, if I could drive to Jacksonville and kiss this guy right now because it was so seamless, I would be there because he's been awesome. So
that's cool.
But let's get this thing. And I screwed up. I am failing you guys tonight. I forgot my hammers.
Oh, man.
I forgot my Glexo hammers that I was waiting to show everybody on the show for you to be back. And
they look pretty nice. They do look pretty nice.
The new lightweight hammer, the physical machine work of that head, there's nothing like it.
Really?
There's nothing like it.
I saw that and I was like, wow.
Clean, how clean it is, machined out and finished. Like my buddy's a machinist, and he was over the other day because he's doing a little something at the shop for me. Bro, he was like, this thing, how much are they selling this for? I'm like, I think it's like $160. He goes, they're not making any money. He's like, because that's a full block and the physical in and out machining of that head, they're not making any money.
That's wild.
So,
shout out to everyone in the house, man.
Yeah, man.
Andy, we got Andy, James. Oh, Kyle. It's funny. I just pulled this picture up. So I met Kyle over at MTE, and I was like, "Hey, Kyle." I'm like, "This is pretty cool, man. I think that we went to school together." I'm like, "I think we went to the Ding King together." Well, I don't know if you know Kyle or not, or if you can even see this picture. But that's not Kyle.
It looks like Kyle.
It looks like him, yeah. So he looked at it, and he was just like, bro, that's not me. But he was like, but damn, that does look like me.
That's funny.
So that was very funny at MT. But yeah, let's get this show started, man.
So we got one problem right now, okay, guys.
Uh-oh.
I think this is the first time this has ever happened in what's it been, 2 years, I guess, maybe 3 years. I don't even know how long I've been doing this. We got two Mannies on the same show. So we're going with Rookie Manny and OG Manny.
Yeah, man.
So let's get him on. I'm excited about this one. What up, Manny?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
How are you?
Good.
Manny.
How's the Puerto Rican life over there?
Hot, tropical.
Hot. What's the temperature today?
It was like 78, 80. I was on the south side of the island today working, so it's hotter over there. It's probably like 80.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the coldest it gets there?
In the center of the island, maybe 60. 57. I don't know. I live at the beach, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But it does get cold in the center of the island, though. I mean, for us, it's cold. For you guys, not so much.
Yeah. Yeah, we had yesterday. We had 76 or 74 degrees yesterday. 21 today.
Damn.
So that's what we do here. You know what I do? I carry a pair of jeans in my truck and a pair of shorts in my truck because I never know what the weather's going to be.
Yeah, I'm always on shorts over here.
Don't rub it in.
except when I'm chasing hell. Sometimes hell season starts early and it's cold. So
do you get hail there?
No, I chase for a living. So
okay,
I chase hell when I'm not here. So usually March I head out.
So you're telling me when I get hail here, middle of March, I got to call you to come to Maryland, even though it's gonna be cold.
I'll go pick up my car at Chicago and then I'll drive over there.
I'll give you a little parka. You'll be fine. So we got my weekly joke. Let's get this over because I want to get into
Manny.
a little
You gotta
bit.
You gotta help me out on this one, please.
We'll see.
Where do math teachers like to go on vacation? Where do math teachers like to go on vacation?
God damn.
Come on, guys. Let's do this. Come on. Where do math teachers like to go on vacation?
I have no idea, bro.
I
Come on, guys. Do some comments in here. Let's do this.
Someone in the comment, please help us out.
Oh my gosh. So we're gonna get into this. You guys, you're disappointing me.
I should have my iPad next to me so I can Google it.
You cheater.
So what is it, right?
Times Square.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
I'm so glad you pushed dents, dude. You would make it as a comedian.
Hey, so my kid either makes them up or picks them out. So this is her thing every week for the last, I don't know how many months we've been doing it. I'm going to do this whole thing with the jokes until Manny gets one. So it's going to go forever.
It's going to go forever. Look, Pax at Equator.
So
That's a good one.
OG Manny, how did you get into PDR? What did you do before PDR?
I had a surf shop. I did screen printing and sign making. And I had a route where I would sell merchandise to gas stations and mini markets.
That's cool.
So
where did the PDR come from? You were just like, oh.
Yeah. So where I owned my surf shop was right in front of the beach. And the street actually collapsed because the water was digging out from underneath the road. And I was young at the time, so I bled my other 3 companies.
What's young? How old were you?
I was like 27, 26.
Okay. Nice.
So I bleeded my other 3 companies to keep the surf shop open, which was it was a bad mistake. Learning curve. Surf clothes it's an expensive lifestyle, so it's not a necessity. But that's what I really wanted to do because I used to compete as a bodyboarder back in the days, and I traveled for it too.
Look at that.
So that was like my dream job. And so when I bledded the companies, I was married at the time, and when the money goes south, everything goes south. So economic wise, I went really bad. So I had to close everything up, got divorced, lost everything.
What year was this, Manny?
around 2003,
Okay.
2002. And my dad owns a beach bar here. So I ended up working there again, you know, making sandwiches, bartender. I went kind of like in a depression for like 2 years. And so all I did was surf, work at my dad's bar, and smoke weed, pretty much.
Sounds like a great lifestyle.
It does sound like a
not
good
really.
lifestyle.
It is, but not really when you lose a lot. So,
Yeah.
you know, at that time, my kid was like 2 years old, year and a half. And so I got divorced. And all I did for 2 years was just, you know, work at my dad's bar and surf and whatnot. But before my divorce, I was hanging out in San Juan in Isla Verde, and it was like 3 a.m. We came out of the dance, you know, nightclub, and we went to, you know, typically here in Puerto Rico, when you get out of the dance club or hanging out, we end up at Burger King. You know, that's like that one spot to get your drunkenness level out. You know, Whopper with, you know, double meat, everything on it, extra mayonnaise, extra everything, takes your alcohol level and just knocks it out. You know, so so at that particular Burger King, there was a palm tree, and when I was like ordering the food, a coconut fell on my hood. So, you know, so my wife at the time, her friend told us it was a brand new Xterra. So they told us about, you know, a person here at the time, Colombian guy, that he fixed dents. So we called him up and he fixed it. At the time, I didn't know what a quality work was. It looked beautiful. Different. You know, it looked good. And then, so long story short, after 2 years doing nothing at my dad's house, and, you know, I woke up one morning and I'm like, I got to do something with my life. I went to college and went to school for international marketing. And at the time, internet was dial up. So you know what that was like. Yeah. So I woke up one day after a really, really, really bad hangover and partying. I was like, I got to do something with my life. So I started looking what nobody was doing at the time here in Puerto Rico. And at that time, Mike Toledo was, you know, starting his YouTube videos and whatnot. And then, so I started doing research, but I kept looking for things to do and I couldn't find anything because, like, there was so many people doing same thing pretty much. So after like a day or two looking, I look out the window and I remember the coconut being fixed, you know, with the, you know, paintless dent repair. And I started looking for schools, and this was around 2004, 2005. And at the time, there was only Dean King, I think, that was marketing on internet. And they put it in so beautiful. 2 weeks of training. You're going to learn and you're going to conquer the world. You know, so I went to Orlando and took the course with them. So I had like $6,000 left from everything I had. So I borrowed $6,000, 3 from my dad, 3 from my mom. And I went out there and took the 2 weeks training, and they taught me how to fix a little tiny dent. And I was like, wow, I can fix dents now, you know? And so I came back to Puerto Rico, and when you go to the real life, you know, real world PDR, nobody fixes dime size or quarter size dents. It's all like on body lines, 6, 8, 10-inch dents, you know, and you try to fix this stuff and you're like, what the hell is this? I didn't go, like, they didn't teach me this stuff. So like pretty much every dent guy pretty much in the business, at least in our time, you get frustrated. So you take your tools and you just throw them in the closet. And so I was out 6,000 plus the 6,000 I borrowed, you know, 3 and 3 from my parents. And I went and took a job at Frito-Lay, you know, the potato chips. Yeah. At the time, they just brought in these cookies called Gamesa, which I know Manny knows the brand. They're from Latin America. And I go sell cookies at a route, and into a year in the route, well, like 6 months, I was like not liking my job, and I go home every day and I see my tools sitting in the closet. And so I'm like, start looking at Mike's videos and Tom Price and Michael by Hand and Jeremy and, you know, all these old school, like legendary PDR techs, which are like people you look up to, like, wow, these people are like magicians. They do these things with metals. Like, if they can do it, I can do it. So I start practicing. So I'd work from 6:30 to like 7 at night, go home, take a shower, eat dinner, and then I would practice from like 9 to like 3, 4 in the morning. It was a car that was at my dad's house. It was junked. So I started slamming. It was different stuff and whatnot. And I, you know, started practicing every day, you know, like practice my heart out. Like a year, 2 years in, I'm still practicing because it's really hard you to learn by yourself, you know?
Yeah.
It's tough.
So I start saving money, and I come up with, you know, I see on the internet through Mike, I think, Mike Toledo, Mobile Tech Expo. And so this was like 2011, 12, I think. And I started saving money, but you know, I owed money in child support as well. So, you know, money I was making, I was like catching up, you know, whatnot. So I decided to go to Mobile Tech, and I go there, I buy a plane ticket and go there. I get there on a Thursday, I think it was, or Wednesday. Wednesday to Sunday with like $400 in my pocket to spend the whole weekend. Plane ticket and hotel was paid for because I already saved the money for that. And I think this was the one hotel that was like by 192 in Kissimmee. Can't remember the name. Caribe Royale, was it?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And there was a 7-Eleven across the street. I went, bought a foam cooler, a bag of ice, a bag of Doritos, bread, ham and cheese, and mayonnaise. That was gonna be my food for the whole weekend.
Oh,
you know, because I didn't know anybody. I just jumped on a plane and went there, and I'm like, I can do this if these people can do it. So, you know, so I go, when I come back to the hotel, I'm with my cooler, and I'm walking down the hallway, and I see 3 dent guys walking, you know, ahead of me, and their t-shirts, you know, they said Out of Logic from North Carolina. And, you know, I grew up in Kissimmee. That's why my English, you know, I'm good with my English. So when I read the shirt, they turn right in front of the door where I'm staying at. And I put my cooler down, like, look, my name is Manny. I do not know anybody here. Can I hang out with you guys? I do dance. I'm from Puerto Rico, whatever. I got nothing. I can offer you guys sandwiches for lunch or whatever. So true story, you know. Like, so I hang out with these guys. They were Mike Broughton. He's won at the Dental Olympics. It was Dallas George, he died like a year ago, and A-Rod Rodriguez. So these people, they took me in. They, you know, I started meeting people through them, and they're like, next hell season, you're gonna come work with us, save some money, and you're gonna come out. And, you know, I came back, you know, pumped up, started, you know, selling a lot of cookies, practicing and whatnot, saving up money. And next season, I didn't think they were going to call, but, you know, they called. And I worked with Mike for like 5 years, you know, and thanks to him and Dallas and A-Rod, you know, like helping me out, getting me into the hair business, teaching me pretty much everything I know up to date, you know, as a tech to where I'm at my levels and what I know about hair business. I am, you know, I value everything they did for me, and for that I'm grateful always for the rest of my life. So
that is so dope, man.
So I learned the business with them, 5 year work for them 5 years, and then, you know, I started chasing hell. And I another great guy that helped me a lot was John Willis from National Dent Works, also from North Carolina. And from there, you know, I kept meeting people through them. And while on the street, you know, chasing, I kept meeting a lot of people. And then after the first MTE, I kept going to every MTE. And of course, you keep meeting more and more and more and more people. Started competing in the Dental Olympics when, you know, nobody had an air cannon to practice. It was all, you know, that's one reason I like to compete, because nobody had an air cannon to practice. It was all like all year you're like fixing real stuff, and then you're coming out to actually fix a perfect dent, almost, you know, borderline stretch. And then it was difficult for everybody. Very difficult. But now everybody practices. So, you know. And from there, you know, I started competing and meeting people and fixing the dumb stuff nobody wants to fix. So
what year did you started doing hell, you said?
I started chasing hell, if I'm not mistaken, 2012, 2013.
Okay.
One of those 2 years. So, and then the last year I didn't chase because of COVID. And the year before I only did half season because of COVID.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was like last 2 years wasn't that good. So I was pretty much here at home.
How's the business
this
there?
year I'll be, you know, heading out again. So. Here, business is, you know, it's an island. People, hard for them to pay. You know, what you guys charge $150 over there, I start here at $60.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's different. Cost of living here is different. So, you know, it depends what type of lifestyle you wanna live. But me personally, I chase hell. I like to chase hell.
Yeah.
And I love chasing hell. You know, the storms are, if it's good, you make good money. You got to work for it. They're not gonna throw the money at you like any storms. You got your, you know, your crybabies and the ones that put their heads down and work. You know, they do their 10, 12-hour shift, not 8 to 5, and that's it. You know, just take the good with the bad at the hailstorms, and you'll make money. So
how do you see the hell industry? I mean, compared to when you started to where it's at now? I mean, is it harder to get into? Is there more competition?
I don't know. It's just people give out their work. I think they got to stop saying we're gonna give you free iPads.
Yeah.
You know, free rental car. We're gonna pay your deductible. I mean, there's there's plenty of work for everybody. Like there's more than plenty of work for everybody.
I think the other problem with the hail run of the business is there's been so many guys ripped off by brokers, and there's a lot of really bad taste in a lot of guys' mouths. You know, a lot of these brokers are really
same thing for people that have PDR shops. You know, there's a lot of guys doing PDR that won. They don't get educated. That's a big problem I have here in Puerto Rico. I got all these guys fixing dents, but they don't want to pay to learn.
Yeah.
So people think you could just buy rods and you're gonna, you know, fix dents. No, you got to go to school for this. Yeah. You got to train. You know, there's a lot of factors that come in when you're fixing a dent. You're not, you know, you're moving metal. Yeah. You know, you got to know what to use, when to use it, when to use heat, what type of tips you want to use when you're working on a body line, not just body line. Nowadays, the paint on the cars.
Yeah.
If you don't push right, all these metallic colors, they're going to get ghosts.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what to use, you're going to damage your customer's car. And then there's no going back. You got to send that car to paint because there's no way of fixing the ghosts. It's just, you know, it's sometimes you get a hit and then you have a crown like 6 inches, 8 inches away from the dent. You know, so, you know, it's not as easy as people think. No. You could think it is, but it's not. You know, so it's.
How long did it take you, do you think, for you could say like, oh yeah, I was good tech, you know, or I know what I was doing by this time? Like,
look, it took me
a year, 2 years.
When I started practicing at night, I would do every day, 9, 10 o'clock till like 3, 4 in the morning. And after like 3 years of practicing, I went to my buddy's shop. He does window tint here in my hometown, and I would fix dents for free. Like if I would see something that I could fix, I'd tell the guy, look, I could fix it. I'll fix it for free. If it comes out good, you can tip me. If not, then it was already, you know, you already had it done in the car. So it doesn't matter if I messed it up more. It's you know. But like I tell people that are coming into the business, your best college in this business for you to get good at it are dealerships.
Yeah.
That's your college. School is where you train. Your college is the dealerships because they like the cheap stuff. So they just want to make it look flat and they pay you for it. So I mean, and then you got to decide after that if you want to keep working for dealerships or you want to upgrade your quality and become a PDR, like a real paintless dent repair professional where you actually get paid for your quality work, where a lot of people, they're not at that level. There's more of the same, but like 1% are like over here where customers really know what actual PDR is, you know? So,
you know, what's crazy is that I feel that a lot of guys who are interested in our industry forget that like there's hard work involved and you got to put a lot of training, a lot of hours. I mean, like you said, working for free, you know, even if you fix a dent and it took you 5 hours and they only gave you $50, like, you know, a lot of people, I feel like a lot of techs, like they want to come in and start making like the big bucks, you know, and they forget all that time.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be passionate about this profession. I mean, money comes into play, but money comes into play in the long run once you build your reputation.
Exactly.
Because like Mike Toledo said in one of his seminars at MT this year, every PDR guy has his customers. You're gonna have the PDR guy that likes to lowball, and then you got the PDR guy that does quality work, and then you're gonna have that customer that's willing to pay for that quality work because he really cares about his car. But then, you know, that's where you start pushing away those customers. Like, I don't want lowballers to be my customers. I want customers to come pay for what I'm worth. But you have, in return, you got to give them that quality work.
Yeah.
You're not going to, overcharge and give them the same quality work as a lowballer because you're not helping the industry out.
Is there any discounts? It was discount Thursday over here at RPS. That's all I heard. Is there any discount on this? No. This is it.
I tell them not today, tomorrow.
That's a good one there. And it's funny because Peter was at my shop 2 weeks ago.
Peter Zamora.
And he came by he was in DC and he swung by to check out my new shop and we were talking. He was like, first I was like, talking about Manny. And then he was thinking I was talking about you. But then we started talking about you and he's like, he's the best tech I've ever seen. Like the best quality tech. And someone that truly cares about the repair.
And I just want to highlight that, Manny. Pack right here, who's an amazing tech. I think he's talking about the St. Peter, but he said too that Peter told me Manny Q is one of the best he's seen, super quality. And I want to highlight that, man, because you know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you a secret. It's because I use VIP knockdowns.
Hey, me too, man. That's it. I love it. I looked at Peter and I was like, he came to the shop and I was like, I'm disappointed. No presents, no gifts. Gifts.
Peter, I gotta say, my little Polish crew, Peter and George, it's I love those two guys. They're like, they're my family. They're my blood. From another mother. We've our friendship is a whole nother level. But Peter's a great craftsman. His tools, I mean, everything he makes is not because he's my friend, because if it wasn't good, I would tell you, and I think he's a really, really humble and good craftsman. So if you don't have a VIP, you need to get one.
Yeah.
Even the version 1. I still have version 1 because I bought a whole bunch of them.
I got like the second or third knockdown he's ever. First one he gave to George. George got number 1. I think I got number 2 or 3. So kind of jealous because of that.
I'm telling you, man. They when I first looked at the first one, I remember seeing them at MTE when Hiley and Toledo were talking about it, and it was still new. And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, $75 for that thing? Like, you look at it, it was a rough, you know, it was a hexagonal shaft with looked like a piece of leather around it with just stamped VIP on it. And I was like, I don't know. And I came back like the third day and I was like, I'll take one. And then I used it the first week and I got on the website and ordered like 4 more. Cause I'm that guy, when I like something, I better have backups.
Get them next, yeah.
Damn, right. But you also sound like that then guy is like always complaining about pricing. You're like, damn, 75
well,
bucks.
you know, you're just looking at it. You're like,
I make $75 in 20 minutes, but I can't spend $75 on it, so it's gonna make me money.
It just wasn't one of those big, shiny, pretty. You're like, okay. And I've never heard of it before. It was the first time I've seen it, and I was like, but let me tell you, everything since, man. I mean, his tips, like his blending tip is my physical go-to for cars with PPF on them. That's the only tip I can use because it does not divot or make the PPF do something weird. That tip is it. There's nothing else like it.
You know, I think there's tools that are like game changers. I think that VIP knockdown was a game changer.
Yeah.
I think that it was for sure one of those tools.
You were talking about something early on the show about, you know, how like us, like for me, sometimes it costs me to like try new tools out. And I was kind of sketchy on the stand liner tools in the beginning. And then I bought them. Well, actually, I called Bryce. I was like, Bryce, what are your favorite stand liner tools? It was like 3 years ago or 2 years ago. And he's like, the pirate hook and then the snake and then this and that. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy them. When I come back, you know, these tools, you know, they also have a learning curve.
Yeah.
They're not your, you know, average push tools. You know, these you can push, you can, you know, tap on them, you can slide them. And it took me a while to like get used to them. Now, if I can grab a stand liner tool, that's going to be my go-to. Always to start a dent. And then usually I finish the dent with a PDR finesse. Because I like sharp tools for finishing.
Even the VIP knockdown, it's a learning curve with that. If you don't know, you can tear some stuff up.
I use Peter. Yeah. I know Peter's not going to like what I said, but I use Peter's tips to push sometimes too. So, especially on the metallic colors, the plastic ones.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You guys
I used the leather heads to push all the time. Those leather heads he came out with, they were great to put, like a nice soft push. You know what I mean? They don't slide a lot on the underside of the panel. If you have a big dent, you're really cranking and it's far away. You don't have to worry about it sliding. That leather head just grabs.
90% of the time I'm pushing on body lines, all I use is plastic tips.
Yeah.
Always.
Just so it doesn't model it. So it doesn't ghost
you don't ghost the metallic.
What kind of cars do you guys have? I mean, I know you guys have all kinds of cars, but like, is there certain like...
The most cars that sell here are Toyotas, Hyundais, Kias, and Nissans. Okay. And now like after Maria, the hurricane, a lot of people now are starting to buy pickups because of all the floods and, you know, when the roads got all like obstructed. So a lot of the pickup trucks, now you see a lot of Dodge Rams out here.
Really?
Yeah, but tons. Like it used to be Tundras and Tacomas. You still see the Tundras and Tacomas, but now from Maria to now it's like Dodge Rams. Chevy, not so much yet. You see them here and there, but Dodge Ram is kind of like on pickups, and the F-150s. So they're like
look at Peter.
Not the sign person. I told you I wasn't gonna like
it. Hey, but I can say one thing, and I've seen this a million times on Facebook. See a guy with a VIP tip and it's busted off, and he's like, "Man, I don't understand why this broke." He's on there. Handling it, taking care of it though. He stands behind his shit.
Everything breaks.
It does.
I don't care. So I mean, stop complaining, people. Everything
You're making money.
you use breaks and you make money off of it. So you know, it's like when tabs break. Oh, my tab broke. Just grab another one, dude.
That's right.
How did you work through with the Maria, the hurricane? How did all that go? How did business go, and how did it?
Everything was shut down. I spent like 2.5. Well, after Maria, I was here without electricity for like 3 months, pretty much where I was at. Other people were like 5, 6, 8 months to 10 months after the storm. But that year, I mean, the PDR industry, I'm so grateful for it. People started sending us, they started sending supplies and stuff to my house, and people were like sending like food, flashlights, Pampers, clothes.
That's so cool,
dude. I mean, just everybody started sending me stuff, and I spent like a month and a half or 2 months like distributing to different towns, taking supplies to them. Everything I was sent, I would spend like 3 or 4 days like separating and putting like different boxes, and then I would put them in my truck, and I'll go out and was Evie was my wife, which everybody pretty much knows at MTE. So we spent like a month and a half, like, making sure people got all these supplies that needed it. So, I mean, yeah, I spent, after that, everything kind of like started, going back to normal. But yeah, Maria was
rough storm.
It was bad. Yeah, it was rough. Like, Katrina was bad, but you can't compare two different storms to different places. Structures here, houses are either cement or they're wood. Yeah. Back over there, everything's gypsum board and wood. So anything, that's the thing. Before I worked, I used to work as a home inspector for FEMA as well back in the day. I started doing that here after Hurricane George, as a translator, and then I turned into an inspector. But yeah, I worked Katrina Rita as an inspector, and you go over there and you like see like slabs and then no houses, like over and over and over, like the roads. Like you go to subdivision, all you would see is just slabs, and if not, just the pillars for the cross space, and everything wiped out. Yeah, here was bad, but over there was like really bad. And you go to like Baton Rouge and you see like these 2-story houses, 3 stories, and you see the water level from the 3rd story just going, but
Did you have a shop?
No, not at the time.
Okay.
I've always been mobile. I've had a shop for the last like 3 years now.
Okay. So how did that came about?
My buddy does paint protection film.
Okay.
And so he has a big location, and I would just go there and like fix dents for him, and then I would do that in different locations. And then he asked me if I wanted to come in with him, and I've been there for the last 3 years, I think 3 or 4 years.
How big of a
business
is
San
paint
Juan
protection over there?
Here, it's got its customers. Not everybody's gonna pay for that here. So, and he doesn't charge here what they charge in the States. So he travels a lot to Florida. He has a lot of clients over there. So he usually flies out to Orlando every other week.
Wow.
So, but yeah, but there's customers here that they have high-end cars and they will pay for it, but not everybody will pay for it. So
you basically teamed up with him and got into the shop.
Yes, sir.
And now it's been 3 years.
3 years, yep. And then I have Jorge, that works with me, and when I'm chasing, he takes care of the business with my wife. So
okay. Now you've always had like a bigger team with you, right, Manny? Or
yeah, I got Javi too. He's one of the new kids that I trained. He went to school with my daughter, so he didn't want to go to college. He didn't want to do anything. He comes from a strong, solid roots of family, value, and loyalty. So I trained him. So he's been with us 3 years now.
That's cool.
Nice. And how many kids do you have, Manny?
You guys froze. I think Manny froze.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just asking. So how many kids do you have? Oh, we still froze, or who's not froze, or who's moving? Right?
I think we're good. I think he's. There we go.
You guys freeze, or was it me?
I don't know. Whatever.
I think they're still fixing the antennas from Maria.
Manny, I meant to ask. So, how many kids do you have?
3. Oh, me? Like my kids?
Yeah.
I got Evie's daughter, and then I have a 16-year-old, Kalani, which if he wants to learn PDR, I'm gonna teach him. If not, then I don't know if he's gonna want to go to college or not, but he has options.
The reason why I was asking is because one of the cool things about Manny, if you guys ever see him at MTE, is that he's always with his family, with a big crew, and he always has everyone working, like everyone in different classes, learning things, and just going around the tools. I mean, they're involved,
team.
just like like a team,
You
that's
met
always
Howie.
been.
Howie was with me at the show.
Yeah. And that's awesome, man. I think that definitely plays a big role. The foundation, the team that that you have.
Yeah, but my main income is from Hell, though. Like, that's what I depend on. So last 2 years I haven't, year and a half didn't chase, so that hurts. So I'm eager to Ryan, call me.
Hey, I told Peter, I said you're the first call. You're gonna get the first call after rookie Manny. You're gonna get the first call because we got the space, So
I saw your new shop. This is dope.
Thanks. What is your go-to headphone when you're doing hail?
Me?
That's a good question because hey,
I know it's a good question. Is it a thing?
I can't I'll see techs using the headphones you guys have on, but I can't use them because my ears start sweating, and I'm always doing this. I want to get those earless, the wireless.
Oh yeah.
The iPhone ones. I can't use that, dude. I got the LG, the ones that wrap around your neck and you just put here. That's all I use, dude.
Okay.
So
I always ask hail techs. I'm like, what's your go-to headphone?
Yeah, that's my go-to.
That's a key part of your job. You know what I mean? That's a big deal when you're pushing hail because you got 10 guys and they're all beating on a rail with a hammer for 5 hours.
But
now, do you team up?
Though. Yeah, I like to tag always. If I can tag, I tag because you don't get bored. Of the same car all day, or whatever. You have somebody to go pick up lunch. One stays working, one goes pick up lunch. It's if you get stuck on something, fresh eyes come in, look at it, pop, 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 get it done. For me, example, I tag last 3 years. I've been tagging with Jay Phillips, which he's an awesome tech, and I
gotta deliver a car, so I got a client picking up a car, so you guys keep going.
Go ahead, bro.
Keep going.
We're good. So he's good with hoods and deck lids inside. I'm good with rails and the roof. So that's my. I can do hoods too, but we already know how to
work together,
distribute, and not bump into each other.
Yes.
Which I learned from Peter and George, not to bump.
That was
the way we tag.
When Dave O was in town and we were doing hail, he was a hood and trunk, I was a rail and roof, and it just worked. You just get in this groove, and it's almost like you're dancing together. You know what I mean? It's just a constant. You work together really well. Peter says you can't talk when you're fixing dents.
Nah, I don't know, Peter, buddy, come on. Usually we start on the sides of the car. So the fastest tech is going to take either the easiest or the beat, depending the damage in the car. So we usually start on the side. Whoever finishes first goes on the hood. And then whoever finished last goes on the roof. So that way we're not bumping into each other.
Okay.
If the car's really beat up, then, we got to take doors off. We usually, kind of work it out to where we don't bump into each other. So, but a lot of people, when they tag, they're always bumping because they don't get dialed in on, okay, let's do this. And that way we're not going to be bumping into each other.
It's like classical music. It all has to work. You're just
it's
in
a flow. You got to flow with it.
That's it. That's the word I was thinking of. What is
But
your
then
go-to?
again, go
What
ahead.
is your go-to hail stuff? You know, rods and
Dentcraft, the red orange handle, and
Okay.
PDR Finesse,
Okay.
which that's another story, which is funny.
Go for it. You can't
I
talk
was,
about it. You got to go
I
over it.
was working with George Kozlowski at Storm, and I didn't have those tools at the time. So I see him, and I think Peter was there too, working with their PDR Finesse tools. You know, the set that comes in 5, I think.
Oh,
The
the
circus
set.
Yeah, the circus set. And so I grabbed one from George's car and I start like pushing. I'm like, wow, this is an amazing tool. Like, you know, and every time he go pick up his tool, he was like, where the hell is my rod? You know, like, I always had him in my cart. And so at the time, they were doing a lot of raffles on Facebook. And he signed up for a raffle. And it was Mark Turkis tool set. And he won. And he like, here, fucker. Here's your tools. Don't touch mine anymore.
That's funny. He's saying Straight Lines is asking, how long does it take you to do a hail car? I think a lot of that is
it depends the damage on it, and depends what are you doing. If you're doing retail or if you're doing wholesale. So 2 different monsters, 2 different speeds, 2 different types of quality. So
what do you like? You like retail or you like wholesale?
I take whatever, dude. I don't complain. I just put my head down and work.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna complain, don't even go to the store. Stay at home.
No. Yeah.
You know, you're gonna have good cars, and you might have to take 1 bad car, but then your broker or whoever you're working with is gonna give you 2 good cars to make up for the bad car. So, you know, and I try not, like, if I'm in a body shop and there's like cars that are like really, really bad, I kind of like, I won't kick them, but I won't do them at the beginning of the storm. I'll probably tell the manager or whoever I'm working for, like, leave this for when, you know, work starts slowing down, then we have something to like keep busy with
and spend time on.
Yeah. You don't want to do those at the beginning of a storm.
No, because you get it's beat. Do you like the big damage or do you like a lot of damage? So like you can have a shit ton of dents, but they're all small, or do you like 8 really big dents? What is your, if you're looking at a dent, if you're looking at a car and you're like, okay, we got this.
Well, if I'm in Texas, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah, it's
Colorado is beat little stuff. You know, up over here in the East Coast, it's a mixed bag. You can have good damage, and then you got good damage with like 10 bad dents.
Yeah.
You know, so it all depends. At the end of the day, if it's paying, you fix it.
Yeah, true.
So,
you use a lot of the do you use a hot box? Do you use a power PDR much?
I try not to let anybody know that I have one, because then you have to, you know, they throw everything at you. Like, here, he's got a PDR box, he can fix it. So, you know, I'll bring it out if I'm fixing a roof, and all of a sudden, you know, that one dent you think it was fixable, that's the worst. You're not gonna, you know, kick that roof, or you're gonna bring it out and you're gonna fix it. So
now, if you have a dent like that, if say your East Coast damage, you've got, I don't know, 150 small dents, 5 really bad dents. Do you go for the really bad dent first?
I usually, like, on a panel, I'll hit the worst, because I don't want to fix the whole car and then, you know, have a kick. Because that way you can go back and talk to the manager, like, look, this is not going to come out. This is going to have to be like either push to paint or you know, what do you want to do? Like, you know, they're going to figure out if it's going to be worth paying us to fix and then fix that one, or them fixing the panel, because you know how it works, Ryan.
Yeah. And now it's even different. This year is going to be totally different than any other year because of parts.
Yeah. So everything's going to have to be fixed. Pretty much.
You're not going to get a roof panel. You know what I mean? No. You're going to be either pushing the paint or fixing it.
Mm-hmm. It's like hoods. They'll kick hoods because it's cheaper for them to replace. And then you look at it and you're like, that's fixable. But they don't want to give it to us. So. Yeah. But then again, here's scenario. A lot of body shops get techs that kick stuff that are fixable, and then they already have in their mind, they're like replacing. You look at it and you're like, why are they replacing when this is fixable and we can make money off of it? Yeah. You know? So it all depends. The history inside that body shop.
Yeah.
On techs that been through that body shop. So
yeah. And that's what I actually had this conversation. I had Travelers Insurance in the shop today, and we were talking, and then he's like, I feel hail this year. I'm like, me too. Me too.
Me too.
But I said, I don't want hail here. And they're like, why? And I said, because I don't want the circus here. You have to deal with it for the next 2 years after everybody's gone.
Mm-hmm.
You got upset people. Some of these techs tear some shit up. I've had it. I've had redos that came back that another tech did, and the customer's upset, and it puts a bad taste in their mouth, and you're like, I didn't do the car, but let me fix it. Let me make it right.
It sucks, but then again, that's the good thing about you getting yourself educated, where you educate your customers. Like
100%.
Body shops, they go wrong about everything. For example, you as a local dent shop, all your body shops that are at least 15, 20 miles away from you towards your shop, they need to be with you because you're educated and you're a person that knows your stuff and plus quality work. But then here comes the circus and they start offering 40%, 50%.
Yep.
And then, they start seeing money, but they don't see what you just said. Down the road, who's going to fix that stuff? You are, And then here comes the scenario where you got to teach them, okay, you call the guys you hired to come fix your stuff now.
I had that scenario. I had that scenario 2 years ago. I guess it was 2020. We like a shore town in Annapolis got hit, and Caliber had that deal with High Tech. And they came in, did a bunch of cars. There was 3 shops in that area. They were all my accounts that I serviced. I couldn't fix the cars. And I went down there their first day, started writing them for them because I'm friends with all the managers. I'm like, okay, let's get this sorted. I started writing them, and then he came to me, and they're like, we can't use you. I'm like, what do you mean?
That's
we got to deal with High Tech, right?
It's corporate.
So they went to High Tech. Halfway through the storm, they called me up. They were like, Ryan, I need your help. And I'm like, what's up? And they're like, yeah, we're not using them anymore. So I picked it up. But, it's still that tough feeling when you're a local tech and then you have a deal like that. Like the Crash Champions group, I think they just bought a whole bunch of stuff in this area too. I think they're with Dent Smart, and it's tough. It kind of bothers you because you're in there saving their butt every single week, and then the hail hits and they're like, we can't use you.
Well, I mean, I think the last 3 years, last 4 years, a lot of these big dent companies are, they're going up to the level of these big major body shops across the country offering, we can do this and this, but then can they handle the work with the techs they have?
Exactly.
And then here you are, because like I work for Ramiro from Disappear Dents in Chicago. And when he gets hit, I go work with him, and he's really good to work for. Like, I love working over there. And, he's well hooked up with his accounts. But when it comes from corporate,
there's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you do unless management starts complaining, like, look, these companies you're using are fucking up all the cars.
Yeah.
They're making us look bad. And then they got to turn to who? The local guy.
Yep.
The guy that's always there year after year after year after year. This is what I'm seeing every year going through. Like, it's all coming through corporate.
Yeah. And we had that.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's business, right? But
I
mean,
hey, you're giving a huge discount. Hey, I mean, he was like, if you can match their discount, and he told me the discount, and I was like, no.
You tell him, what do you want? You want shitty work or you want quality work? It's like, you want a good pair of sneakers, you go buy a pair of Nikes, Adidas, whatnot. If you want a pair of sneakers to solve your problem at the moment, then go to Walmart,
Yeah.
go to Kmart, go to Paintless. You know, that's how the way they got to look at it. Like, okay, the guy can give you a big discount, but I'm going to give you the quality work. I'm going to make you look good. I'll work for you. You're my boss. So if I make you look good, I'm going to keep getting more work. If I make you look bad, you're going to kick me out like you just did with these guys. But I'm not going to give you their percentage. No. I'm, you know, so that's the way I look at it.
The same thing happened at Service King, another big group, to where they had a corporate deal. He came in, fixed some cars, did not do a good job. I ended up coming in because I was friends with the manager and fixed a lot of the stuff that was bad. Didn't crush them because I knew, hey, I was getting all the other stuff that was still coming in, and it worked out. But I think a lot of that stuff still is relationship based. You know, like you were saying, Romero up in Chicago, it's all relationship based. When you have that tight relationship, kind of like I did when I went down there and wrote those estimates and kind of wasted my time. But that manager actually was watching the show earlier today, you know, earlier tonight. You know, that it's all relationship based in that, to where somebody comes in, you know, they're going to use you.
But when you've been chasing a lot, like you go to these big brand, like big body shop names, and you see these companies come in, you know, PDR companies, and you're here with the local guy because they still call the local guy. They'll feed him a bone. And, you know, you start at the store and you look at these guys working and you're like, yep, they're not going to last a month here. You know, they're not going to last 3 weeks or whatnot, you know. And, you know, they end up with the guy that originally been with them, you know, constantly. So, you know, like here in Puerto Rico, I have a lot of issues with the insurance companies. They don't want to pay me. They don't consider me as a body shop. And I tell them, you know, insurance companies in the States, they love us because in a lot of situations, we save them money.
Yeah.
You know, where, you know how I tell them, like, so a lot of the full coverage insurance, they have a rental car. You know, I might be $300 more than the body shop, but I'm saving you 2 weeks of rental car, dude. Like, where do you don't get that? They don't understand. They're like, yeah, but he's still cheaper. And I'm like, but what about the rental car? No, but he's still cheaper. You know, it's like, so it's, I'm still trying, you know, to educate them, but they don't see it that way. They only see their direct repair shops where they have a number with them and that's what they're going to pay and that's it.
Straight Lines is asking, what hair light do you like and use most and why?
When I'm chasing hell, I use Pro PDR. That's, to me, is my go-to. And then for my mini light, for me, I've tried them all. Stucky light. That for me is the best. So
you like the fog.
But I can fix those lines. I can fix those natural reflection. I put it when I'm finishing my dents, I use a lot of natural reflections. Like any line I can see from the wall, from the roof, whatever, you know, where I can catch any flicker or whatever. You know, customer's not going to see it with the light. They're going to look at the natural reflection.
Exactly.
So usually when I'm working a big damage, extreme dent, I put the car where when I'm working, I have the rolling door, you know, facing, you know, so when I'm fixing, I have all these natural reflection coming in from the rolling door that I could see everything to the detail. On you know. To make it look beautiful. Which
and I love my rolling doors because of that same thing too. I could really, if I see straight lines, like, all right, I could get paid.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is working in a shop is different light than outside. A lot of times, like I'll fix the car inside and I'm like, man, this thing looks great. You pull it outside, like, oh, I still kind of see something, you know, because you're using that natural reflection. I always like to re-look it over when it's outside just to make sure it's
I
perfect.
do the same thing. So, but I usually I don't close the rolling doors. I leave it I just leave it open. I like to use all the lighting towards the car. So
well, when you come here for hail, you can work in an air conditioned shop.
yeah, I don't have that here. My shop is not the most beautiful shop, dude. It's like,
hey,
I don't know. It's just so I don't let people stay and wait for their cars. I just tell them drop it off and come pick it up at 5, because then they're like breathing all over on your back and and whatever. And they're like start looking and asking and interrupting you. And I use if it's small dents, I'll do it mobile. But if it's like the big stuff that I like to work on, the big damage, I have the cars dropped off. So yeah. Because sometimes when you do it at the customer's house, it's 5 o'clock. It's the sun goes down, and you're not, you don't have time to work on it. You're always in a hurry because you got to get it done. When you have it at the shop, you work lay down, you're relaxed, and everything flows beautiful.
Are you on Monday through Friday, or are you more Monday
through Friday, dude? Yeah, here I usually because I don't make the same money as hell, so I usually start at 6:30, 7 in the morning and work till 8, 10 at night. So Monday through Thursday.
Oh, I see.
And then Friday I work till 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then Saturday and Sunday off.
Yeah,
but I have to work 2 to 3 times harder than when I push it. That's why I like pushing hail.
Yeah.
So.
Got it. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now, man?
Me? In a truck on a fifth wheel, chasing hail, and not being in Puerto Rico. So that's where right now I'm here because of my kid. He graduates next year. So hopefully if he goes to college, then I can then buy a fifth wheel and a truck and then just chase. And after hail season, I could just visit different shops. I'll end up calling you or Ryan, hey, you need a hand, fixing stupid shit, and then I'll do that, check out California for a while or Maryland for a while. And then hail season starts, I'll chase again. If not, then I'll come back to Puerto Rico, and that's it.
I could definitely see you doing that, man.
Oh yeah.
If
I like to travel.
If you could give maybe 2 advice to any new techs out there, what would your 2 advice be?
First, if you haven't gone to school, you need to go to school. And if you want to get trained right, you need to pay for it.
Yeah.
Well, and you need at least minimum of training, no less than a month and a half.
Oh.
You're not going to learn PDR in 2 weeks.
No way.
3 weeks. No. You need at least a month and a half. I train. I got people that come out here and train with me.
That's nice.
And my training methods is kind of retarded because I train, usually people start training with soft tip and making you believe you can fix a dent. I train you to read the light to perfection, to the most minimum microscopic high and low you could possibly see. And when you start pushing with me, you start pushing with a sharp tip. I make you create that muscle memory. So when I switch you to a soft tip, you push beautiful and confident.
Oh, I see.
See, people teach with soft tip, and then when they switch you, everybody fails in this business that 5 last percent to finish a dent. And that's where you need to be perfectionist on looking and reading the light to perfection. Those micro high, micro lows, and you got to be precise, pinpoint on with those sharp tips to be able to get those microscopic
lows.
So, for example, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, Manny, right? Yeah. So that door I posted on my story, the Audi, that was a really, 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 really deep, sharp dent.
Yeah, I saw that.
My last push, and that's it, done. I didn't even buff.
That's dope.
But that's how I teach you, though. I teach you to see the most minimum But then again, you guys or somebody else could fix that dent in 4 hours, 3 hours. It took me 6, 7 hours to fix it because I fix it to, make it perfect. Awesome. No work comes out perfect, but right. to the customer's eye, it's gonna be perfect. Yeah. So, I take my time when I fix dents. So, And
nothing wrong with that. Have you seen you taking more time in the shop than you did mobile? Do you think your repairs have gotten better?
Oh, definitely. Because like right now, I'm starting to mix and match, like using a lot of the new Keiko stuff, the ratchet and, on big stuff, you have 6 new arms to like pull and you can like tap and, move that metal and so on and so forth, And then again, there's so many great techs out there that a lot of people don't even know about that you see them, on Facebook, YouTube, and you're like, wow, where did this guy come from? Because like, honestly, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but the circle we know as the PDR industry is Facebook circle. But the PDR industry is so big. And you see this when you're out chasing hell. You're like, where did all these people come from? You think it's only the people on Facebook, but no, we're minority, dude. We're just trying to help out the industry, like letting people know. But it's so huge, like it's crazy.
And that's what I love about MTE. It's just like you may think you're the man out here in your town, but you go to MTE, you're just a little guy.
Second advice: first, you need to go get educated. And second advice is, I don't care if you're 1-year tech or 50-year-old tech. That 1-year-old tech rookie can teach you a lot of stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because everybody sees everything different. Everybody starts a dent different, and everybody has their own unique technique when fixing a dent. Yeah. So, you have to be open to learn from other techs. And that's another great thing I love about Chasing Hell. You meet all these people, and you see them doing so many different techniques that you don't even know these technique exists.
It was kind of like Matt Boyette was telling me about a Japanese group, and they were literally using a hammer from the underside of the panel to fix every dent, and they never pushed.
Brazilians do that too.
Oh my gosh, he sent me a video. I was like, bro.
Brazilians, I learned that from Clay Cunha. I know a lot of people know who he is, the Brazilian. I met him in Colorado. Most humble dude you ever meet, dude. Like, Clay is just straight out. And this guy, he I see him tapping, and I'm like, what's he doing? and it's the same thing as we're knocking the highs, but you're doing it inverse. Yeah. And it works. Like stand liner tools. I don't know if you guys use them that way, but when you're tapping with these stand liner tools, you're pretty much knocking the highs. Yeah. But you're just, you're catching, the low spots, and you're just tapping with them. And when you tap with the stand liners, it comes out so clean. It's just, I don't know if you guys use them that way, but at least the hook.
Reverse blending is what he calls it.
Reverse blending. The pirate hook. You use that to blend, it's beautiful. There you go. Samurai technique.
That's it.
What is your go-to tools right now?
My go-to tools, all I use right now is Stain Liner, Ultra, and Dentcraft. That's the 3 companies I mostly use. And then was big, like when I need to move like heavy metal and stuff like that, I use my dent dial. And then for knockdowns, I have the Craftsman hammer. I got 3 Drew's carbon 18-inch blending hammer. Nice. So one of them has a yellow and red tip from like the Craftsman. I have on the other one, I have a R24 polished from Dentcraft, and I think it's a M96 or H96, the blue mushroom.
Yeah.
I have that. And then on the other 18-inch, I have a blue H or M96 with a plain Jane from Anson. And then I have the 12-inch wood blending hammer from Drew's with a plain Jane and an R4 tip. That's all I use for blending. That's all the hammers I own. I don't need any more. Having more hammers is, I don't know. I just don't use them. But
yeah.
And then for knockdowns, I use the soft tip from Ultra, the black soft tip, R4, from Woody Cost. The plastic was
Pee Wee.
The R4 plastic from Anson sells it now, but it was from Woody. And then VIP tips.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I use. And my PDR Nation wood paddle, which was a free paddle from like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I just purchased the Peter's wood paddle, which I love. It's nice, it's heavy, and the leather on it. So it's like leather on one side, wood on the other side, and the weight is perfect. So, and then my long Dentcraft hammers, extensions. So when I need to look far, far, far away.
Oh, the green handles.
Yes, that's a must-have in your arsenal.
Yes.
So that's it.
Certainly,
that's
like van roofs when you can't reach it.
Well, I use those on side panels too. So.
Oh yeah, just to get far enough away.
Yeah, because you put your light away and you need to, your arms only reach. If you gotta try it. You gotta use them on your side panels.
Those are two hammers I don't have.
It's a whole set. It's like a 3 set. You just got
and it's cheap. There's like 150, I think, 160, and they come with tips. You choose the tips you want, so you're not gonna lose. So
I've had mine like 15 years, and it's a fantastic set. I mean,
I love Dentcraft tools. I think they're great tools.
Are you coming out to compete at the Dent Olympics next year at MTE, or you gotta let the rookies compete?
I'm getting pumped up again. I am gonna have to purchase the air cannon because everybody has one now and everybody practices with it. So yeah.
That's funny.
Ultra sells it, so I'm gonna have to buy it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on, man. And everyone doesn't know this, but you're up late over there. And I want to thank you for that, man, for staying up late to hang out here with us,
It's always fun to hang out with you guys.
And Dave Shutt says, no ketchup on my hot dog.
Yeah, David, I got a hot dog here with extra ketchup for you, bro. I have it on the mic over here.
Well, Manny, I appreciate you coming on, man. This has been fun. We'll have to do it again.
I'm always here whenever you guys want to invite me, man. Any advice I could give out, I'm always here. So, importance here that there's a lot of techs doing the work right.
Yeah.
So it's in benefit for all of us.
Yeah.
The more techs doing the work correctly, the more work we're gonna have. The more techs we have lowballing and fucking cars up, the less work we're gonna have because people are not gonna trust in the paintless dent repair business.
Yeah.
So
now, where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram, Dent Out Puerto Rico, Facebook, Dent Out Puerto Rico, YouTube. I haven't loaded videos in a while, but Dent Out Puerto Rico as well. And when hail season starts, if you need a good tech that puts his head down and work, then hit me up.
That's awesome, man.
I travel all over the state. So
perfect.
It's been awesome listening to your story, bro. And thanks for sharing your knowledge. Thanks for holding our industry up. You're definitely one of those techs that I look up to, and I know that a lot of people look up to you. And thank you for being humble and welcoming. Ever since my first MTE, man, you definitely extended your hand and said what's up and introduced me to a few people, and I'll never forget that humbleness. And,
I'm always here, bro, and same.
Thank you.
I look at your work, dude, and you're a fucking great tech. Like,
He
you
is.
do some crazy shit too, dude. Like, you know, because like I said, everybody has their own techniques, their own styles, their own way of doing everything. You know, like there's no correct way. Everybody has their own way.
Yeah.
As long as it works for you and it comes out good, you just keep doing it. But always bring in other techs styles because it will make you a better tech.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. And the positivity, man. You're always positive, man. So keep it up.
I try.
It's nice to watch your stuff and you know, keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
So, thank you, Manny. Go get some sleep, brother.
I'm good, dude. I got to bed at 12 every day, so no worries.
Manny, I'll see you later. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Let's do this again.
Yes, sir. Thanks for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Have a good night, everybody. Peace out.
See you.
That was a good one, man.
That's an awesome guy, man. And something I didn't mention this, but if you see Manny at MT and you see him with a bag, you're about to have a good time. He has his Puerto Rican bottles to share with everyone. But yeah, awesome guy, man. And I'm serious. That my first MT, you know, he just extended his arm and said what's up, and he was just literally like, hold on, don't go nowhere. I gotta say what's up to you. And I was just like, bro, that's so cool. You know what I mean? And it was funny because that first year he won in the competition, and I almost got excited. I was like, oh, I did it. I was like, no, that's the other man. I was like,
joke's on you, right?
Yeah. That, you know, like I said, he was awesome, man. And if you guys get a chance, you know, get to meet him at MTE, and
you won't even get that chance because, I mean, like in May, it was a couple years ago, and we were over by like I didn't know him. We were over by the Carbon Tech, and he's like, "What's up, Ryan?" And I'm like, it's one of those things when you sit back and you're like, okay, I know you. Okay, we get each other. You know, you won't even get to introduce yourself. He's coming up to you.
He's coming up to you. Yeah.
So, you know,
and you know, it's funny. I've taken credit for his name a couple of times. A few people was like, "Oh, Manny, yeah," you know. It's like, "Oh, wait, you're that other man."
That's what happened with Peter. You know, he thought I was talking about him, and I was talking about you, and then it all just turned in a circle. So, but we're super lucky that we have techs like that in our industry because, like, when I started 21 years ago. We didn't have this stuff. Guys were like, bro, you better stay over there.
Yeah.
Don't even talk to me.
Yeah.
So, and I think social media, you look at all the bad stuff in the world with social media, right? But I think social media in niche industries like this has done a lot for the industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's kind of unified us. It's kind of given us some borders of quality repairs.
Yep.
And I just think it's been good. It's been really good.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
thank you for doing the show, man. I know that you got a lot in your hands. I know you're busy, and
I am super blessed right now. Let me just tell you, it's been more humbling right now that things are going the way that they are. Like it's crazy because I'm getting a tear on my eye, but it really is like you look at everything and Ashley actually said this a couple nights ago, and we were talking about things, and my buddy Josh was over, and he was like, he's known me through my car show days of building Hondas for Honda, and he's like, I'm proud of you. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you've been like this the whole time. Shit's hitting the fan. The guys aren't showing up. Stuff's not getting done trying to get in here. The county's messing with you. And I was just like, I said, you know why? Because it took me 20 years to learn to enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Because after that, you're in it. Mm-hmm. But it's really cool, man. Like, it's really cool. I got in the shop this morning at 6 a.m. It's dark outside. And there's 7 cars in there. And I'm like, I sat on the stool for a minute. I had to take it in. I was like, Okay.
That's a nice feeling.
You know, so it's one thing I tell all the guys. I get a lot of new guys that reach out, you know, just asking questions, and I say, dude, just enjoy the process. Even if you're just building a route, like a mobile route, enjoy it. Enjoy the process of going in, getting your teeth kicked in. Because every time you get your teeth kicked in, you learn just a little bit of a different approach or a different way to handle it, or another way to pivot in that conversation to try to get you in those accounts.
Absolutely.
So, you know, just enjoy the process.
Yeah. But thank you for putting the show together, man. Because like I said, I know.
No. Hold on. We're gonna back.
Wait. Let me finish. You have a lot on your plate, man, and I know that everyone knows this, or you may not. That you know, Ryan's not here to do the show for his customers because he's got to get more business or anything like that. He's doing this for the industry, man, and I sincerely mean it. Like, thank you.
But let me say this.
What's that?
I couldn't do this without you.
Stop.
And I'm serious. You know why? I looked at Manny. We were talking earlier in the week because we talk periodically throughout the week, either FaceTime for 5 minutes because my phone's ringing or his phone's ringing or whatever. But I mean, Maria texted me like 3 days ago and I just got back to her. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm running around this place like I have hot peppers in my pants. You know, we're slamming. It's crazy. But I looked at you and I was like, figure it out. If you can handle it, I'd appreciate it. And that's why things work really well. So this was a great pick to get on here.
I've been waiting for this day, so glad we got it.
But I appreciate you for helping me figure it out.
Thank you. Are we going to do this for half an hour?
This is what we're doing tonight.
This
is what we're doing. And everybody's doing this. We got crickets on here because nobody's watching anymore. So anyway, you have a fantastic night, Manny. You guys, thank you for listening to us babble. And everybody have a great evening. Wash your damn hands and, you know, hopefully things will get worked out over in Ukraine and the world will let's pipe the world down just a little bit. Can't we all just get along and give free hugs? Free hugs is where it's at. So you guys have a fantastic night. See you guys.
Thank you.